Hey everybody, it's Chuck Garfine. It is another edition. It's the season finale edition of Friday Night White Sox All Access here with Davis Martin. All right, so Davis, it's a crazy game. It's a game of baseball. Your last start against the Guardians, 4 of the 6 runs were scored on 2-run infield singles.
Yeah.
How do you explain how that happened to you guys a couple days ago?
I mean, it's baseball. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians, they run the bases really well, and, you know, Lane Thomas put a good enough swing on the ball to get it to the right spot. You know, I mean, sometimes you get line out, sometimes you get those, and that's just the game of baseball and the life we live.
Yeah. You look at this season, half of the games for the White Sox have been decided by 3 runs or less. Half of the losses have been decided by 3 runs or less. What does that say to you?
So I think we're closer than everybody thinks. I mean, granted, yes, the record's bad, but I think we're playing good baseball in the sense of, you know, we're not putting 9 innings together, but 7 or 8 innings. We're really doing a great job, and we got guys that are grinding at bats. We got guys that are grinding on the mound. But, you know, the difference in this game is you have to complete 9 innings of baseball, and that's just eluded us this year, as you can imagine, with 3 runs or less in half those games. So that's all it tells me is that, you know, we got the finished product is, you know, putting good baseball out there for 9 innings.
What gives you hope for the future?
I think the guys in the locker room. I mean, I think there's a core of guys in this locker room that want to compete and want to win, that hate losing more than anything. You know, and I think those guys going forward are going to be really good for this organization and this club, and hopefully get us in a good position in a few years.
Okay, in about 15 seconds, how would you describe your T-shirt? Do you mind if I get better right here?
This is my TJ shirt. This is me and Matt Foster's Tommy John shirt. It is all-encompassing. If you're in the weight room, you can get better lifting. If you're in the training room, you can get better on the training table. If you're in the cafeteria, yes, you can eat a lot. So it is very all-encompassing shirt.
Works for me. I'm always trying to be a better interviewer. I should wear that shirt as well. So thank you very much, Davis. All right, so it is the White Sox and the A's coming up next. Garrett Crochet, he's on the mound. John and Steve have more on Crochet coming up next.
You could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Illinois Lottery. Illinois is full of winners. Play today. Stream White Sox baseball from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. And by Wintrust, home of White Sox checking. Visit wintrust.com/Sox to open today.
What's up? Welcome inside the booth alongside Steve Stone. I'm John Tripp, and it is good to be back. Our final Friday here at home this season. Just 15 games left in this regular season. We're hoping to see 3 more starts out of Garrett Crochet. That was the plan, even with this limited pitch count, to have him go an entire season, and he gets the ball again here tonight.
I mean, Garrett wanted to do that, and so we don't know how many more times we're going to see him, but you make the most of each and every time because he's having just a great year. When you look at these numbers, you realize he's amongst baseball's best. almost 13 strikeouts for 9 innings. That would rank first if he qualified, but obviously with an innings limit, he's not going to do that. 191 strikeouts, that's really good, tied for 7th in the major leagues. And 153 fastball strikeouts, which is close to amazing because this is an industry where if the guy can't hit a fastball, he usually can't play here. And Garrett has an overwhelming fastball.
It is Friday Night All Access coming up. Brian Ramos will be on the mic. My man's been to the jeweler. Okay, we see you.
All right, welcome back. It is White Sox All Access here with Brian Ramos. All right, you're leading off tonight, first time in your major league career. What do you like about leading off here tonight?
I don't like it, but I don't know, maybe the first pitch gonna be a foul, so try to be ready for that.
And you're DHing as well. You homered as a DH a few days ago. How do you prepare as a DH?
I do my between innings. I straighten my legs, you know, and then when it's getting closer to hit, I'm going down to the cage. I take some reps, you know, to keep my body going, and yeah, I do all that stuff and try to be as much ready as I can when I'm in the batting box.
Good luck as the DH, leading off here tonight. Hopefully a White Sox win. Okay, Brian.
Thank you. Yeah. We're gonna play to win.
Okay, awesome. All right, there is Brian Ramos. John, Steve, back up to you.
All right, there's that man, the big lefty, Garrett Crochet on the mound, getting the start for your Chicago White Sox. What an atmosphere here at the ballpark. Hispanic Heritage Night. The parking lots are absolutely packed. We got music blasting everywhere. Good vibes. This is how we kick off our final Friday at home this season.
And the La Pantera bobblehead is absolutely gorgeous. So it's one of those nights that you want to be at the ballpark. It's beautiful weather. You get to see Garrett Crochet, one of the best in the business.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Oakland Athletics. Lawrence Butler comes in with his 20-game hit streak. And Brent Rooker has been one of the most powerful hitters since the start of July. Unbelievable. In just 11 games in September, batting average almost at 400.
There's a look at Garrett Crochet on for his 30th start, looking for his 7th win, but he won't be around for 5 innings. The ERA of 3.83. Look at those strikeouts. 191 in 134 innings.
First pitch from Crochet, and the fastball at 98 miles per hour.
There's the Ford Arsenault, and his four-seamer he leans on, backed up by the cutter. Essentially, now that he's going 4 innings or so, he's a two-pitch pitcher mostly. It is a tough task for a left-hand hitter to face this big lefty.
Well, we see the 20-game hit streak from Lawrence Butler. Over the course of that streak, hitting .373. He's got 8 home runs, 8 doubles, 14 runs batted in. This is one of the best young players in the game of baseball right now.
Well, take a look at what he's done since August 21st. First in extra base hits, tied for first in total bases, second, and third in other important categories offensively, and he can run.
But Crochet says, have you seen my sinker? Strikeout to start the ball game.
This is one of the most awkward swings we'll see, as Butler can't check it up. Throws a fastball right by him, right in on the hands. This is his two-seamer. Again, we told you, a pretty tough assignment for a left-hand hitter, especially a young lefty, against Garrett Crochet.
Every time Crochet takes the mound, I just marvel at what he has accomplished this season. How hard it is going from a reliever to a starter, and not just any starter. He has been one of the best in the game this season.
Those strikeouts on fastballs, you can see. Zach Wheeler's a terrific pitcher, but Garrett Crochet is right by him.
Rooker gives it to ride to center field. And Tony Robert Jr. eventually tracking it down for out number 2 in this first inning.
Let's take a look at the defense, and this is how they're put out there this beautiful evening for baseball. It's Andrew, Luis, and Dominic in the outfield left to right, with Miguel, Jacob, Lenine, and Andrew in the infield. Corey Lee behind the plate. We told you about the dominating Garrett Crochet.
This is the catcher, Shea Langoliers, with 2 outs just underway here on the south side of Chicago. And we take a look at these strikeout leaders this season, and look at that right-hand side of the column. With innings pitched, Garrett Crochet has been one of the most dominant.
Well, it's been a pretty amazing year for him, and he couldn't have scripted it any better, except obviously for the ball club. But personally, for Garrett Crochet, he's burst on the scene as a starter and opened a lot of eyes in this game.
Well, think about coming into this season. His highest inning pitch count in any season was his sophomore year in college at Tennessee in 2019, where he threw 65 innings. Came into tonight 134. Just an incredible performance, and now popping the glove at 99.
We do have a lot of guys that can throw in the upper 90s. However, with deception that Garrett has, nobody picks up the fastball right away, because this is a league filled with fastball hitters, and they cannot square up Garrett Crochet very often.
Here's his 2-2. This one lined to right field. Fletcher backing up, and that'll do it for this top of the first inning. Good start for Crochet on the mound. White Sox bats coming up. For your Chicago White Sox for the first time in his big league career, Brian Ramos leading things off at the top. He'll be DHing, followed in center field by Luis Robert Jr. Benintendi's in left, Vaughn at first, Sosa Lee behind the plate, Fetcher, Vargas, and Jake Amaya gets the start at short.
We'll take a look at Brady Basso, who's on for just his second start, his 5th appearance with an ERA below 2. Pretty good numbers, 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk. And we'll take a look at his Ford arsenal. 4-seam fastball he leans on, backed up by the curveball. He will throw the occasional cutter. Don't look for too many changes or sinkers.
First pitch here to Brian Ramos. As that fastball, an expanded strike zone tonight, strike 1. With so many infielders on this team right now, they just want to get Ramos at bats, and they get him in at the DH spot here tonight.
Well, since he's come back, he's swinging it pretty well.
Breaking ball goes down to pop this one up to shallow right for the first out here in this bottom of the first inning.
Let's take a look at how Mark Kotsay puts him out there with Cameron, Bleday, and Butler in the outfield left to right. Schumann, Wilson, Geloff, and Nevin in the infield. Jay Langoliers behind the plate, and we told you about Brady Basso.
Well, it is Luis Robert Jr. La Pantera Alabrije bobblehead night. So you would expect him to do something special here tonight.
Well, he's got a left-hander, and hopefully he'll shrink his own strike zone down a bit and run into a couple.
.22 games coming into tonight without a home run for Luis Robert Jr., tying the longest single season record in his career, as that one bounces through the hole for a 1-out single in this first inning. Oh, Robert goes down as he hit the brakes, but he's able to get back to first safely.
And hopefully he's going to be okay. Jason Bourgeois is laughing with him, which is a good thing. He took a curveball that hung up there. That one didn't break like the first time he threw it, and he took it right back through the middle. Then taking an aggressive turn, and this you like to see. You like to see aggressive turns. Unfortunately, the left leg slid out from under him, and down he goes.
He blew a tire, but he's got a replacement.
And he fortunately was able to get back to the bag. Now, one of the things Luis would probably like to see is the motion of Basso.
Trying to time up the lefty here early on. He used the slide step. Benintendi. This one out to right for out number 2.
And we'll take a look at Brian Walsh behind the plate. Called strikes 10% above major league average up to left-hand hitters. That's an ump I really like. Called strikes 6% above major league average down to right-hand hitters. Maybe a comeback is in order. Like those umps who call a lot of strikes.
Andrew Vaughn will step in here with 2 outs in this bottom of the first inning. It has been a while since we've seen a home win for the White Sox. Coming into tonight, losers of 15 in a row at home. Would love to end it here on this final Friday night home game of the season. That one hit hard up the middle, gets into center field. Robert Jr. picks up the ball. He will stop at second. So 2 singles in this first inning for the White Sox.
Andrew Vaughn has really been swinging it well. If he could put together a full season like he's done the last couple of months, those numbers would be a whole lot better than they are now. But he never gave up. He tries every day. And his work ethic is what got him to this point.
We will have General Manager Chris Getz in the booth with us for the 3rd inning. And one of the things we're going to talk about is just kind of what he wants to accomplish the rest of the season, really what he's seen out of his team this whole second half, and how the White Sox organization goes about rebuilding for next year.
Well, one of the things that we're going to ask him is, looking ahead, where's he going to concentrate going into next year? Because there's, as we know, a lot of holes to fill. And what are his priorities?
Because like you said, we're seeing this second half. There's a lot of guys who are stepping it up. Young players who are starting to emerge, take over at some positions.
Well, look, Grady gets asked every day about this team, what they're going to do going forward, what he wants to accomplish. And what Grady always says is the one thing he's been very happy about, he cannot second guess the effort by his players. His players have played hard for him. And that's really all you can ask. As far as talent is concerned, well, there's no doubt they need some more talent. But as far as hustle is concerned, this roster has really hustled.
1-2 the count to Lenyn Sosa. So a lot of these guys know they are playing for their careers right now. There's a lot at stake, even though the win-loss record doesn't look good. Personally, every individual on this team has something to prove to the front office for the remaining 15 games, including tonight.
Well, look at the case of Jacob Amaya. Been released twice this year, but because he can really pick it, he found another place to play, and that was here.
Swing and a miss on that curveball. Langoliers throw down at first. He completes the strikeout, and that'll do it for this first inning. The start of a 3-game series here on the south side of Chicago with the Oakland A's. White Sox looking for a win here on Friday night. Take a look around the ballpark here, Guaranteed Rate Field. Beautiful, diverse crowd here at the ballpark, and this is what I love about the south side of Chicago. Everybody's represented when they come to a ball game here for the Chicago White Sox. Everybody is welcome, feeling included. As a grounder off the bat of Dasker Cameron, and one out here to start this second inning. I got so much life walking to the ballpark here today, seeing people drive up into the parking lot with a White Sox flag on one side of their car, and then whatever their ethnicity is on the other side. It was Mexican flags, Colombian flags, whatever it may be for Hispanic Heritage Night. And just the pride of White Sox fans coming to the ballpark despite a season like this. Thank you. I mean, it just brings us so much energy, so many good vibes, and we really feel it here in the booth here tonight.
Well, look, this is the perfect night for the Sox to break that home losing streak, and Garrett Crochet is just the man to do it on the hill. What you'd like to see is the pitch count kept to a minimum. You'd love to see him get, if he can, into the 5th inning. That would be a good thing.
Since July 12th, we have seen this limited workload for Garrett Crochet. He hasn't thrown more than 77 pitches or gone past 4 innings since that mark on July the 12th. as the White Sox are very cautious with his health for the second half of the season. 1-2. Swing and a miss on that sweeper. Second strikeout for Crochet.
You got one strikeout with a fastball. This is the sweeper or the cutter or the slider, whatever you call it. It's the same pitch, and it dives down and in to right-handers. They don't have much of a chance with that. If you do make contact, it goes foul.
So 2 outs. J.J. Bleday gets out of the way. That one at 99, up and in. One thing you cannot deny about Garrett Crochet, he has stayed strong this entire season. Squirt off the end of the bat, and it gets by Vargas at third. So a big turn by Bleday, and he will get to second with 2 outs.
This one came off the bat with a whole lot of spin because it was hit off the end of the bat. Here's one of those cutters, and Bleday doesn't get a whole lot of it. Doesn't have to. No chance at all for Vargas. And Bleday thinking 2 all the way, coasting to second base.
41st double of the season for J.J. Bleday, the 26-year-old. On the corner.
Well, Wilson is their #1 prospect, now playing some shortstop, and it looks like he's going to be there for a bit.
Your Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, one of the top mortgage lenders in the country. Steve Stone, are you thinking about buying a home?
Oh, especially lately.
Wondering how you can pay less each month?
Pondering with every day.
Trying to find the right insurance coverage.
Searching high and low.
All that and more answered at rate.com. Crochet looking for his 3rd strikeout tonight.
Well, Wilson's a contact hitter, but making contact, even when you're choking up on the bat like Wilson does, is not easy against Garrett Crochet.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count, with 2 outs here in the second inning. Corey Lee able to keep that one in front as Bleday stays at second.
That was a nice stop because that's not an easy one to make sure you corral. You see how it backs up. It's going into the right-hander. When it hits the dirt, it backs up, and a catcher can't overcorrect because then it goes right by him. Nice job by Corey Lee.
Popped up center field. Robert Jr. able to get underneath it. Pitching coach Ethan Katz will be on the mic with our Chuck Garfien when we come back on this Friday night All Access here on the south side of Chicago.
Friday Night White Sox All Access, so we've got access with Ethan Katz. Or Ethan, what have you seen so far from Garrett Crochet on the mound?
He looks sharp. He's getting the ball where he wants to get it. He's using all 4 pitches, all 5 actually, with a sinker now too, which is good to see.
How has he grown as a starter this year?
I mean, early on he got in trouble with his sweeper to righties. They were hitting some home runs on it, so we combated that with adding the cutter a little bit more. And now, you know, the evolution of his changeup, the sinker. We're also seeing, you know, lineups all right-handed. So he's done a lot of growing, adapting to whatever's been thrown his way.
And he's had 136 innings and counting now. What is that going to do for him? The importance of that, having that base for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's going to really help us going into next year. We'll hopefully be able to keep stretching him out and see him taking a little bit longer outings at this point next year.
Ethan, thanks. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So was John, Steve.
All right, Chuck, appreciate that. Always cool to go under the hood. Long run for the right fielder, Butler. And that one will get into the seats. To see Crochet, the adjustments he has made over the course of the season, that's what's also been really impressive.
Well, what's good from his perspective is he didn't really know how he would hold up over a full season as a starter. Well, that's been answered. He held up just fine. Next year, in a similar situation, he'll probably be in the 180, 190 innings pitched, but he'll know that he can go that deep.
He also knows how his body feels this late in the season, what it's like preparing for each start and getting ready, and what it takes to recover from each start this late in the season.
I mean, considered a full season, 32 starts. This is his 30th. So he's had a good full season of work.
Good at bat by Corey Lee at the plate to start this bottom of the 2nd inning. As he fouls off another one to stay alive. 3-2 the count. The relationship that Corey Lee and Garrett Crochet have built this season has also been something very impressive. Fly ball right field. And there's the first out in this bottom of the 2nd inning. Corey Lee always speaking so highly of Crochet, about his stuff and really about his confidence. And he feels like there was a point in the season when Garrett Crochet his confidence went to another level where he felt like everything he threw was going to go past the hitter at the plate.
Well, now, because of what he's accomplished this year, he's got even more confidence that he normally had anyway.
About that game we saw recently where he struck out the first 7 batters in a row to start the game.
Yeah, that was obviously very impressive. But the stuff, I mean, the stuff was just exploding, especially that late life on the fastball.
Corey Lee has talked about how grateful he has felt, how lucky it has been to be able to catch Crochet. I feel lucky and blessed to be able to call these games this year, even though we haven't got many wins. To see him make this transition, people are going to look back on this year for Garrett Crochet. So Dominic Fletcher will strike out, and there's 2 away. Join us at the ballpark this Sunday for our last Family Sundays presented by Coke Zero Sugar. With tickets starting at just $10, there's fun for the entire family. To learn more and purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Sunday. Miguel Vargas getting another start at third base, attacking the first pitch. Butler out to right center field, will track it down at the warning track. General manager of your Chicago White Sox, Chris Getz, will in the booth for an entire 3rd inning. We will ask him everything you want to know about the future of the Chicago White Sox. Manager Chris Getz is now in the house. He'll be with us for the entire third inning. And before we get to the future of the team, I want to focus on Garrett Crochet, because you were with him in the offseason. You guys had that great conversation about making this transition. Describe what your mindset was like then and how it shifted throughout this season to now here we are tonight.
Well, if you would have asked me, you know, when Garrett and I had that initial conversation at the end of last year that he would be doing what he's doing in September, probably I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't believe myself. But it's just a testament to Garrett. He was so determined to prove to us and prove to baseball that he could be a major league starting pitcher, let alone one of the best in baseball. So I'm so proud of the guy.
That's one hit hard to Vargas at third, who makes the catch. Now, you've had to make adjustments over the course of the season, especially since the All-Star break. What's been the plan with him, and what did you want to see with him the second half of the season?
Well, you know, going into the year, I mean, uncharted territory for any arm. We couldn't point to someone historically that had, you know, a similar journey to Garrett Crochet. And, you know, nowadays we've got so many ways of getting information feedback. And whether that be obviously pitch quality, how his delivery's holding up, you know, so and of course, you know, you got strength testing in between starts, all these measurables that can give you confidence to make a decision. And of course, how Garrett is responding, is he vocalizing how, you know, his recovery honestly to you. And you know, it was just it speaks to the trust that we have in Garrett, our training staff, just the infrastructure we have as a whole to go out there and give him confidence to take the ball as long as he had all season.
Let's talk a little bit, Chris, about the thought process going forward. What are your priorities going to be when you look ahead to next year?
Well, I mean, we feel pretty good where we're at from a pitching standpoint, whether that be through the draft, acquisitions, just the development of our arms. Now, offensively, that's an area that we're very light on. So, you know, we're not going to be working heavy in free agency. We've got guys out on the field right now that need to improve their game. A lot of these guys are young players and need to make the adjustments to be more productive.
Catch is made in right field by Fletcher for the second out in this third inning. Let's go through some of those young players and just talk about kind of what you've seen, what you need to see. Miguel Vargas at third base was the key acquisition in that Dodgers trade. What have you seen from him, and what are you looking to see throughout the rest of these games here in this regular season?
Well, Miguel, for one, he's got a tremendous track record offensively, you know, minor league baseball. You know, it hasn't quite transitioned to at the major league level. We've seen glimpses. You know, he makes good decisions, swing decisions. He's taken his walks, but he's not hitting consistently. But you got to point back to the track record that, you know, he's proven. So we have confidence he's going to figure that out. Defensively, at third base, he's done a solid job. You know, the Dodgers this year, they wanted to get the bat in the lineup somehow. They had him playing left field and third base, and he's played some second base a little bit and right field and first base as well.
Garrett Crochet gets the strikeout to end this top of the third. Stay with us. We'll have more with Chris Getz when we come back. With general manager Chris Getz, and we were talking before we went to the break about some of the young hitters, and Jacob Maya is somebody who Steve and I have really loved seeing play. What have you seen from him so far?
Well, fundamentally at shortstop, I mean, it's pretty impressive, and we knew that when we put the claim into the waiver wire. Historically, he's been a solid defender, you know, across the infield positions. Offensively, he's had some pretty good at bats. He's gotten on base, moved the ball around a little bit, so it's a there you go, good timing. Look at that.
Right on cue. Jacob Maya starts off this bottom of the third with a single for the Sox.
I think the most surprising thing about him is not the fact that he can field, because you knew that to begin with, but he's hitting over 250 now, which is something that will take a glove man to the next level. Just make some contact. He's been able to do that.
Well, that's the beauty of someone that can defend. If you got someone that, especially at the shortstop position, that they can catch the ball and move around the diamond, you get more opportunities for your bat to develop.
Brian Ramos at the plate. We've seen him play third. We've seen him now DHing. We've seen him take some fly balls in the outfield. What does the future look like for Brian Ramos?
Well, I mean, it's loud off his bat. You know, he's a guy that we've been around since he was 17 years old, and to watch him grow up, you know, has been a joy of mine, certainly as a farm director, and now at the big league level. You know, watching him go about his work. You know, he's always had a pretty good idea of the strike zone. He's always been able to make loud contact, and just a matter of finding the consistency at the major league level. He can play a solid third base, and you know, we're playing around with him in the outfield a little bit too. So the future's bright with Brian.
Fly ball out to right center field. And it's going to be Butler making the catch for out number 1.
But we know how fast these things can turn around. I mean, you're looking at Kansas City this year. I know you're very familiar with them. And what, 101 losses or something along the line last year. And now all of a sudden you add a player here, a player there. That's a solid ball club right now. So it doesn't have to take 3 or 4 years.
No, that's right. I mean, I think it's wise for us to be patient, and you know, we got ourselves in this situation not overnight, and it's not going to be an overnight process to get us out of it. We're focused in all different areas of the organization, all the departments, making sure that we're not, you know, missing anything. We're, you know, investing our time and in energy in getting it right, so all our processes are clean and efficient, so we can avoid these types of, you know, dips, and not, you know, relying on going out there and we have to get this player or that player. This guy needs to go out there and perform. Or, you know, and you look up and you're at the bottom of the standing. So foundationally, we're putting most of our focus into that. And you know, we know when the time is right, we'll find players to bring into the organization, whether it be you know, free agency or through trades to help us at the major league level.
That one lifted out in the air to left. And Luis Robert Jr. is retired for out number 2.
I will assume at this point, we know you're not going to spend a great deal of money on free agents because the team really isn't ready to win yet. But talk about the Rule 5 draft and how you figure out who you're going to go after and who you're going to pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the Rule 5 draft, it's obviously an opportunity to grab someone from another organization that you feel like is going to have you know, major league impact and help your major league club. You know, we're going to be picking, you know, at the top of the Rule 5 draft, and you know, you look at historically, and some of those players have been taken. I would say there's probably been more of a success on the pitching front. You know, there are, you know, with the restrictions of that the Rule 5 pick puts on your roster can make it a little bit more challenging. But you know, we'll be on the lookout, prepared to perhaps select someone that can help us.
All right, that'll do it for this third inning. Chris Getz, appreciate you always coming in the booth, breaking things down.
All right, guys, thanks for having me.
Remember, Roberto Clemente was a Rule 5 draft. See if you can find one of them.
We'll be on the lookout.
Interim manager Grady Sizemore will put on the headset when we come back for the start of the 4th inning. just buzzing with people right now. As Brent Rooker, fly ball to right at the wall, and another outstanding catch by Dominic Fletcher, who continues to show what he can do in the outfield.
Well, Rooker continues to show how strong he is, because he almost took it out of the ballpark. So let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Dominic Fletcher has had a remarkable second half of this year with the glove. This is a good play, not one of his best, but he's had so many defensive gems in right field.
There's also the confidence that anything hit in the air that hangs up for a long time, that Dominic Fletcher's going to find a way to track down in right field.
Yeah, that one almost didn't stay in the park, and twice Rooker has given the ball a ride. 2 fly outs. Again, here we are in the 4th inning, and Garrett has thrown 37 pitches, so maybe this will be an extended outing tonight.
Another one out to right, so Fletcher will make the first 2 plays here to start this 4th inning. And we look at defensive runs saved in terms of right fielders this season in major leagues, and Dominic Fletcher, he's up there.
Yeah, he's been just wonderful. And we've seen him play center, we've seen him play right. We're certain he can play left. I mean, anything in the outfield he plays exceptionally well and throws very accurately.
And let's also not forget, he lost over a month when he went crashing into the wall, making a catch, hurting his shoulder. So this is what he has done in just limited time coming back. Now getting a chance to play every day, whether it be in right or center field.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a remarkable turnaround for him.
Meanwhile, Garrett Crochet
just keeps on pumping strikes,
mowing them down. And that was just pitch number 40 tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that this Oakland club has gone out. They don't want to get in a hole with him.
0-2. Could we see Crochet pass the 4th inning for the first time in his second half of the season?
I was going to say, if there's ever a night for it, in the low 40s in pitches is pretty good.
Fouled away, but Cameron really just protecting himself from that pitch. So we know we promised you Grady Sizemore, but unable to get him so far. We're going to get him for the next half inning.
Jeremy Riggs says nope.
And Crochet says, I cannot hear you on PitchCom, so let's talk it out.
Corey Lee comes back, and he probably said, oh, so how do you want to get him? You want to wipe him out with that sweeper, with the cutter, or you want that high fastball to take him down? We'll see what the resolution of that conversation was.
2-2. Ooh, thought he got him there with the high heat.
Had a piece of the zone, the upper part of the zone, but did not get the call from Brian Walsh.
Here is the payoff pitch from Crochet. Chopper to third. Charging is Vargas on the move, and that one hits Cameron.
That's most likely going to be a base hit. And it is a base hit. I think the Sox caught a break, because if this one gets away, Cameron's probably at second. In a scoreless game, that wouldn't be too good. No chance at all for Andrew Vaughn. But when it caroms off camera, it keeps him at first base.
So just the second hit today for the A's off Crochet. And you look at both hits. One was a squibber down that left field line by Blade for a double, and then this one a chopper to third.
Well, last year Geloff was one of the best, if not the best player for Oakland. This year for him has been disappointing. And no telling how this year would have worked out for the Oakland club if Geloff has his usual very steady year.
Sends this one on the line to right center field, and that one's going to get to the gap. It'll go off the wall. Luis Robert Jr. will get it in. They are waving the runner home. Amaya's throw to the plate. It is not in time. And the A's get on the board first, leading it 1-0 in this fourth inning.
Geloff drives in run number 46, and Cameron scores all the way from first. Sox had a shot at him, but just a little late. It's a double, taking third on the throw, and a run batted in. Luis gets it back in, and the throw just a little tardy. Cameron's got pretty good speed, and he beats the play to score the first run of the game.
I said J.J. Blade did go around for strike number 1. Saw Blade pick up his 41st double of the season in his first bat in the second inning. Well, this year he's certainly making a lot better contact. You see that expected batting average is up. His line drive percentage is up. Everything across the board. And he is the first A's outfielder with 40 or more doubles, 20 or more home runs since 2000.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty special year. You always know when you have a dominant left-hand starter, as Garrett Crochet is, you look at how many lefties he's going to face, and when you see just two, you realize those two guys probably swing it pretty well, or they wouldn't be left in to face Garrett.
1-2 pitch. Blade checks the lumber.
Sox pen up and going. Gus Varland throwing.
Geloff on at third with 2 outs in this top of the fourth inning. And Crochet blows it by Blade, but the A's get on the board first, and they're leading it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Interim manager Grady Sizemore. Grady, how would you describe the performance tonight from Garrett Crochet?
Oh, I thought he looked great. The ball had a lot of life to it. He was getting a lot of swing and miss. He was cruising there until that last little swing and bunt that cost us. But I thought he did great.
Grady, tell us a little bit about your experience this year and your first time ever managing, and how has it been for you?
It's been fun. I love just leading these guys. I feel like managing, you're competing, you're right in the fight with these guys. It's it's the closest thing you get really to being back out there on the field. So it's been a fun experience.
15 games left, including tonight. What do you want to accomplish with these guys, and what do you want to tell them on a daily basis to get the most out of them?
Not to just coast through these last 2 weeks of games or 3 weeks of games that we have. Just keep pushing. We're all playing for something. Everyone is trying to finish strong and get the most out of their year and stay healthy. But just continue to play good baseball. Do all the little things that we can do to win games and play clean ball. And I think when we play a good game and we do everything right, you see the wins. I think it's when we leave opportunities on the field or don't take care of the ball, that's usually when we get in trouble.
What's impressed you the most about a guy like Andrew Vaughn at the plate, who's continued to just stick with things, stick with his process, and now the results are now showing in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think he got off to a rough start, but credit to him, he didn't put his head down. He kept working, kept grinding. Him and Marcus just figuring things out every day in the cage, and over time, those good at bats and that good approach has paid off for him. He's done a good job of just kind of anchoring that middle of our lineup and being a consistent producer for us.
Grady, this is a tough year for everybody concerned with White Sox baseball. Have you seen any drop-off at all in hustle or intensity from your club?
Oh, not at all. No, I think that's the one thing we've done good is keep the energy up. And if anything, they're hustling, just as much as before, even more. I think they're trying hard. They're trying to make, not that the hustling's everything, but I think you're seeing, the effort every night to get better, to compete, to not give up. Just keep fighting. Just playing hard baseball. And the guys have done a good job of that, and continue to put the work in. Even though we're not where we want to be.
Awesome, Grady. We appreciate you spending some time with us in the game. Good luck the rest of the way here tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Part of Friday Night All Access, the last one here this season at home. Our thanks to Grady Sizemore, Ethan Katz, Chris Getz for joining us here on the broadcast. Hopefully get some offense here so some players can join. Chuck Garfien as well. Nice play on the move by Wilson as he goes face first into the grass.
I mean, that was a terrific play. He's proven to be a terrific glove man at shortstop. This is do or die, bare hand in one motion, and he got it there, an eyelash ahead of Lenine. Just a great play. You don't see that very much. And Nevin does a nice job for a guy who was not normally a first baseman.
So 2 outs now in this bottom of the 4th inning, with the Sox trailing 1-0. As Corey Lee did go around on that curveball, strike one.
One of the things you'd like to see Corey look at is where that third baseman sets up. In this case, Schumann is way back.
Chopper to short, a little easier play this time for Wilson as he shows off the arm. It is time now for some American Sail fun at home. As we're now into the White Sox bullpen, it is time for tonight's Roll Aid relief stats. As the White Sox bullpen, we look at what they've done over the last 8 games. Pretty good, 40 strikeouts, so over 36 2/3 innings pitched.
It's been a very tough year for the bullpen, but lately they're doing well, and Gus Varland is part of that pen, and he's been doing very well. On for the 18th time, ERA a touch over 3. He inherits a 1-0 deficit, intent on keeping it there for a while.
So Wilson, who flashed the leather in the field, will fly out to start this 5th inning. Now just take a look at this A's team. They're going to miss the playoffs most likely again for the 4th straight season this year. But for the A's, there's a lot of reasons to be excited. A lot of young players who are starting to take hold at some positions. We just saw Wilson, shortstop. You see a guy like Butler in right field, Rooker DHing. There's a lot of young pieces to be excited about for the A's going forward.
Well, they're pretty happy with the progress of their young players. And Nevin lately, despite a batting average under 200, has really been stinging the baseball.
A's coming into tonight 64-83 on the season. Oakland had 60 wins in 2022, 50 wins last year in 23. And that one is rifled into right field. So a single for Tyler Nevin. Time now for a message from Powering Chicago.
At Powering Chicago, we build more than electrical infrastructure. We build the future. Our trained, qualified, diverse workforce knows electricity. Partner with Powering Chicago and build better construction, better careers, and better communities for generations to come.
Another one of those pieces, Max Schumann. He was a guy who was only really supposed to be with the A's for about a week, and then just played so well, he has not gone back down. But he's at third base. That's one of those positions where they're still kind of unsure of what they're going to do going forward next year.
Well, he came up and played shortstop and looked so good that they didn't want to move him down. Now he's getting his play at third.
Gus Varland with a deep breath as the bullpen taken over here in this 5th inning. One-two pitch here from Varland. Just sticking out the bat, serving to left field, but Benintendi able to get there for out number 2. All right, so here's the dynamic duo, Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker. What they have done combined since July 1st, it's been impressive.
Well, batting average, best in baseball. Home runs, best in baseball. Slugging percentage, second, and runs batted in, second. I would say they are a dynamic duo at the top of this order. Well, I know one guy that's very happy to see the evening come to a conclusion for Garrett Crochet, and it's the man you're looking at. Because not only did he strike him out twice, but he made him look very bad on a couple of breaking pitches and very awkward swings.
Sounded like he broke his bat.
He did that.
As he looks to get another one. All right, we talked about Rooker and Butler. Take a look what they've done compared to Judge and Soto this season. Wow.
Yeah, pretty impressive, because in just about every category you care to look at, they're actually better than Judge and Soto.
Now keep in mind it is since July 1st. But it just goes to show you the future of this A's team. They have a ton of good hitters throughout this lineup. Fastball 97 at the knees for strike 2. Butler looking to extend that 20-game hitting streak pick behind the plate by Corey Lee.
That's one of those you can't get your body in front of. Doesn't matter how much mobility you have. You're not going to be able to get in front of this, even though it's a changeup. He's set up low and away, and he's got to come back over the inside corner and pick it cleanly on a hop. That turned out to be a very good play.
So 2 down. Count now full. Vaughn plays behind the runner at first. And that one gets through the hole at short into left field. So Nevin, who was off with the pitch, will end up at third base. Runners on at the corners with 2 down.
And the hitting streak moves right along as he gets a slider. Takes it through the vacated left side. Putting runners at the corners.
21 games in a row. The longest active hit streak in the big leagues right now belongs to Lawrence Butler.
Plus he's hitting for power. I would assume they're probably going to be moving him along. He's 14 for 14 in stolen bases. Even though Nevin doesn't have great speed, they might want to put the pressure on the Sox defense.
So Varland having some issues as well with PitchCom. I want to make sure you're on the same page with Corey Lee with Brent Rooker at the plate. Rooker leads this A's team with 36 home runs, 102 runs batted in. He has been doing damage all season long.
If he gets to that 300th mark with all of the rest of his offensive accomplishments, I think he'll be the 5th player in A's history to do that.
There goes the runner, a flare to right field. Fletcher, long run, and he will not get there. It's going to fall fair. As Nevin comes in to score, it's a 2-0 A's lead. Another RBI for Brent Rooker.
Well, there's the advantage of being a big, strong hitter, as Rooker is. The outfield has to play deep. And when they do, occasionally on a hanging slider, you can just dump it into right field. And you see Dominic Fletcher gets as good a break as you can get. He just can't get to it. Too far to run. And it's the 2nd A's run of the night.
Fastball high and tight. Strike 1 to Shea Langoliers as Brent Rooker now extends his active on base streak to 23 in a row now. Langoliers, a guy who has caught the majority of the games behind the plate for the A's. He has showed his durability this season.
And he's got some power. Now, the defense isn't great, but the bat has been pretty good.
This is a team who has looked at Baltimore, the Orioles, how they've kind of done things with young players building their farm system. And they're looking to turn things around just like the Orioles have done this year.
Well, the Orioles to this point are being no hit. That game in the bottom of the 8th in Detroit was a perfect game. That went by the boards, but the no-hitter's still intact.
This will be the 21st pitch this inning for Gus Varland. Trying to get out of this top of the 5th. Here's his 1-2 as the runner goes. And that one is fouled off the bat.
Xfinity keeps White Sox fans in the zone with a connection you can rely on. So stream sports from the best seats in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Rooker
off with the pitch. And he will take second without a throw. So a stolen base for Rooker, his 10th of the season.
He's 10 out of 12 in that department for a big, strong guy. That's pretty good speed. And he steals second uncontested.
That's the other thing about the top two in the lineup for the A's. Not only do they have power, but they have speed.
This is a running bunch.
Second and third with 2 outs. Nice spot with that fastball as he freezes Langoliers to get out of this top of the 5th inning. A's get another one as the White Sox bats looking to get something going here on this Friday night all access from the rate. Season with the new 10-ticket all-access pack and get access to opening day in the Crosstown Series against the Cubs starting at only $224. You can pick the number of games and the seats that work for your schedule. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/flexpack. Bottom 3 in the order for the White Sox, starting off this bottom of the 5th inning. Is that one making its way into the seats? Dominic Fletcher 0 for 1 with a strikeout tonight.
Paso struck him out with a high fastball last at bat.
Paso has been really good so far here in the big leagues in his big league debut Saturday against the Tigers. As we take a look at the swing,
he checked it up. Alfonso Marquez says nope.
Paso had 6 shutout innings versus Detroit on Saturday, and here he is now into the 5th, only giving up 3 hits in a shutout against the White Sox. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Here's that start Saturday against Detroit in his big league debut. As a starter.
3 hits, 6 innings, just 1 walk and 6 strikeouts using 85 pitches. That is a job well done.
Two balls, 2 strikes, the count here to Fletcher. As that fastball misses outside, it's now full. Chopper up the middle. Geloff backhand.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. You can find energy and cost savings from your business with a free facility assessment from ComEd. Learn more at ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
Well, Basso has now retired 7 White Sox hitters in a row. He has been mixing up his pitches. The curveball to start the at-bat to Miguel Vargas, strike 1.
If you can get the curveball over on the first pitch, there's very few guys around that are going to swing at it. So you buy a quick strike, get on top, make it a defensive at-bat for the hitter. And that's what Basso is doing a lot of tonight. As you can see, he throws a lot of strikes. Doesn't miss the strike zone all that often. When he does miss, it's been close. That was not so close.
Still has not reached that 60 pitch mark. One, two. Best opportunity offensively for the Sox came in the first inning with 2 singles. Well, Basso has been up to the task. Sox got another single in the 3rd inning, but that is the entire offense tonight. Two.
That was a good change. He had Miguel well out in front. He was able, however, to keep his at bat alive. You see the grip. Good movement. Going low and away and right off the end of the bat. So another chance at 2-2.
Off the big hop to short. Wilson. And safe at first is Vargas, who beats out the throw. That is ruled a base hit for Vargas.
Wilson did everything he could do. He skipped it across because he knew he didn't have time to plant the back foot and throw it across in the air. So he's trying to get rid of it, skip it. But Miguel, hustling down the line, gets himself a base hit. And this is just flat out hustle. He's looking to see if there's going to be a play. There was, but he beat the play.
That goes back to the question you asked Grady Sizemore. Have you ever seen the drop off since taking over? And he said no.
No, I think the guys are hustling well.
The general manager Chris Getz on earlier in the game in the 3rd inning. Talk about the production of Vargas at the AAA level. They believe his bat will come around. He's loved what Amaya has done with the glove so far, and now his bat coming around.
And there's a lot of infielders in this organization. So if you are going to earn a spot on this roster next year, you got to do some things that make you stand out. And for some of these guys, they'll have spring training. Some of the guys will have shown it the latter parts of this season.
Amaya's been able to make his impact as a leader really early on, as one of those vocal guys up the middle on the infield. He's had a great relationship with Nicky Lopez when he plays second, with Sosa when he plays second, and he knows the key is communication, especially when you have so many young players moving around playing different positions on the infield. (3-1) on the ground to second, the flip over to first, and a double play is turned to end this 5th inning. Sox down 2-0.
Sox Insiders at NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side. We got him. And Prelander Baroa comes on to face Seth Brown.
Seth Brown pinch hitting, swinging at the first one. And incoming Robert Jr. makes the sliding catch.
A long way to go for that, because Brown's got some power, so you have to respect that power and play him deep. Luis comes on, almost trickles out of the glove, but he's able to secure it.
Kicked up a bunch of grass, had to shake it out of his eyes.
Replace your divots. Prelander Baroa on for the 10th time with an ERA of 3.86. Got a big fastball.
Zach Geloff with an RBI double back in that 4th inning. That made the score 2-0 where we stand right now. Excuse me, 1-0. It was Rooker's RBI single in the 5th, making it 2-0. There is that big fastball upstairs at 99.
Hard to really catch up to it up there. You can hit it if it's down. If it's knee to thigh, 99 is still pretty hittable. Upstairs, not so much.
Two from Baroa. That slider slipped out of his hand as he checks his footing as well. Geloff will use his time at the plate with the count 3 balls 2 strikes.
Baroa sets up to the extreme first base side of the rubber, thinking he'll get a much better angle for that slider.
On the ground, then that's past the diving Vargas at 3rd. So Geloff with his 2nd hit tonight. It is time for moments that never get old. Old National Bank get old. On this day back in 1967, in one of the longest games in franchise history, the White Sox shut out Cleveland 1-0 in 17 innings. The game lasted more than 4.5 hours. White Sox starter Gary Peters allowed 1 hit in 11 innings, struck out 7, and he walked 10.
How about Sonny Siebert also going 11? I think gone are the days where you see starting pitchers both go 11 in the same game.
Well, this is Blade singling into center. So back-to-back base hits for the A's with 1 out in the 6th inning.
We were off yesterday, didn't have a chance to tell you on this day in baseball history, but in 1976 on September 12th, Minnie Minoso became the oldest man to ever get a base hit in a regulation major league game. He was 53 years old. He was a designated hitter for the Sox that day, and there is number 9, Minnie Minoso.
Another one of those accomplishments that we probably will never see again.
53? No. Baltimore broke up a no-hitter with Gunnar Henderson, a 2-out triple.
We've seen a couple no-hitters broken up with 2 outs in the 9th inning so far this year. Wasn't the Astros who lost one of those?
There have been a couple of teams this year that have gone to the final out only to see it slip away.
2 count here on Wilson. And just nicking that slider to stay alive.
Wilson not an easy man to strike out. He's fanned 6 times in 49 at bats.
the ground to third. Vargas goes to second for one, over to first. Double play. Nicely started by Vargas as the Sox get out of this top of the 6th.
Pretty snappy double play, and they get him by a half step at first. Double play that gets the Sox out of the inning, and it's a pretty snappy one. Nice effort on both sides. Vargas and then Sosa.
That Sox double play is brought to you by 007 Science, inventing the world of James Bond. It is now on exhibit at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. Popped up near the A's dugout. So Brown, who went into pinch hit, will stay in the game and left. As top of the lineup for the White Sox, third time at the plate for Brian Ramos.
That changeup has been very good tonight for Basso.
This is 11 scoreless innings in a row for Basso as a starter.
You see the grip and you see the movement away, and Ramos can just barely foul it back. Bullpen up and going.
Fastball missing up. Count is now full to leadoff hitter Brian Ramos. And he works himself a walk. Sox fans, bring your pup out to the ballpark on Tuesday, September 24th for Dog Day. It is sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Grab a seat in the outfield and you can watch the Sox take on the Angels at 6:30. There is limited availability. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. Luis Robert Jr. on the line, but right at the shortstop. Wilson back safely to first is Ramos.
Well, Ramos skidded as he took his lead, realizing he had to hustle back, and just barely made it at first. Usually the coaches will tell you make the line drive go through, and He almost didn't get back.
Nice show of sportsmanship there as he took out the knee of Nevin. A big game going down in Atlanta right now, as the Dodgers on the East Coast trailing the Braves 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And some headlines made by the Dodgers today. Manager Dave Roberts on Major League Baseball Network radio saying that there is a possibility that we could see Shohei Ohtani pitch in the playoffs this season. And that got a lot of attention, a lot of headlines. Dave Roberts was asked more questions about that at the ballpark later today. He's saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen. He's just saying there is a slight chance, because we have seen Ohtani throw bullpens this season before games as he is coming back from arm surgery. It is interesting, though, anytime you have a mention of Shohei Ohtani, it's going to get some attention.
Well, especially to come back in the playoffs when you haven't pitched all year. That would be a gamble with a guy with an 11-year contract you might not want to take.
This one hit hard into center field, and Andrew Benintendi will pick up his first hit tonight as Ramos stops there at second base.
Third time through, the guys are starting to square up the baseball. Roberts' line drive didn't go through. Benintendi's line drive found a place to land. And it would appear that that's going to be it. Basso does a very nice job. He'll leave with the tying runs on base, only one out, and we'll step out. Difference is we'll be back. The patent for the best lineup in banking, see Lakeside Bank at Halston and Pershing, where every client has their own banker. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And Michael Ohtaniez comes on for the 31st time. His ERA 3.25. You look at the rest of the numbers, he's had a pretty good year. He inherits a couple of Sox on first and second, and red hot Andrew Wana.
Ohtani sporting that big fastball. Was a guy who was originally signed by the Mets from the Dominican Republic back in 2016, and this is his first chance in the major leagues this season. He has been used a lot, and the A's think he could be another one of those pieces going forward. Well, this Oakland team.
Yeah, this was a break for Andrew because that ball had the entire strike zone.
2-0. Not only does Ohtani short arm it, Also has another one of those little hitches where he tucks it behind himself. But the good thing is he has not found the strike zone yet. 3-0 the count here to Andrew Vaughn. Ooh, that was not even close.
Well, it almost hit Andrew, and he's a little surprised, I think, at that call.
Oh my goodness. Two on with one out. Here's a 3-2. And that bad call forcing Vaughn to chase. There's strike 3.
The Abbott Chicago 5K returns October 12th. You can register at chicago5k.com/register, sponsored by Abbott. Life to the fullest.
It is up to Lenyn Sosa now to try to get the White Sox on the board here in the 6th inning. As Otañez has now all of a sudden found the strike zone. Ramos walked to lead off this 6th. Benintendi with a single. Let's see what Sosa can do here in this 0-2 hole. Otañez started his career in the minors as a starter in 2016. Converted to a reliever in 21. Lifting near to left, backing up is Brown, and he will make the catch at the warning track. That'll do it for the 6th inning. Sox down 2-0. Play the Sox Split 50-50 raffle. It's presented by Wintrust for your chance to win big. The $50,000 guaranteed jackpot. It'll keep building through September 26th. Fans who play early will automatically be entered to win daily prizes. Today's prize, a Gavin Sheets autographed jersey. Get your raffle tickets at whitesox.com/Sox Split. It is valid for Illinois residents 18 and over.
Ryan Noda getting his first at bat. Local product.
Freelander Baroa, his second inning of relief here to start the 7th inning. As that fastball catches the inside corner, strike 2 to Noda. Good slider, just freezes him. A strikeout to start the 7th.
He got it in the zone. It's a backdoor slider that shaves off the outside corner. And Noda down on strikes to lead off the 7th.
You were talking earlier about Prelander Baroa, how he works off that extreme right side of the left side, his left side, first base side of the rubber. Explain how that works and how the angle helps him with that slider.
Well, I think he's looking to the outside corner and trying to use the outside corner, especially to right-hand hitters. I think that's the advantage there. A lot of guys, and it's personal preference, because some guys, they set up on the extreme third base side, Baroa the first base side, some guys the middle. Just depends on where you're feeling comfortable, and sometimes depends on the pitches you have.
What was your preference?
Right in the middle. I never really strayed from that too much.
This one off the end of the bat. Robert Jr. picking up late, but he has that closing speed, and he creates another divot in center, but still makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, this is a big divot in center, and the question is, how's the knee? He doesn't start right away, but he's got some makeup speed, and that makeup speed allowed him to get there. Looks like he turns over that left ankle, and fortunately I think he's going to be okay. This doesn't look great, and a huge divot. Now Grady coming out, and Dominic Fletcher is saying, you know what, we can't play out here like this, so I'll help you. You made the catch, I'll make the adjustment. And that's going to be it for Baroa. So he'll depart this one, and we'll step out, and we'll be back. Is back with a brand new look. Joined former Bears head coach Dave Wanstead and the crew to get caught up on all things Chicago sports. That's Sunday after the 10 p.m. news on NBC5 Chicago. We got a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Frazier Ellard. He's our Lakeside Bank call to the pen. He's been doing some yeoman-like work lately. On for the 17th time. His ERA a touch below 3. And he inherits nobody on base.
He faces the top of the order with Lawrence Butler. As Butler 1 for 3. That one hit, the only time he saw a righty. Edler looking to make quick work here. Butler. Give the Sox some momentum heading into this bottom half of the 7th inning. 0-2. Another thing Chris Getz talked about, how comfortable he is with the arms in the White Sox system. Another good arm here. Frazier Ellard showing what he can do. Gets the strikeout. It's time to stretch here on the south side. For the 7th inning, let's get you caught up on what you missed. Oakland got on the board first, an RBI double. Zach Galoff making it 1-0 in the 4th inning.
And they went on to score one more, and that's on a little flare right inside the right field line. No chance for Dominic to make that play, and that's where we stand at 2-0.
It was another quality start for Garrett Crochet. Went 4 innings. Gave it that 1 run in the 4th. As a new first baseman, Ryan Noda, who pinch hit in the top half of this inning. That Get Caught Up is brought to you by Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, the nation's #1 rehabilitation hospital since 1991. Choose the best. Oh, 2 count here on Corey Lee.
Looks like Scott Alexander throwing in the pen for the Oaklands.
The 5 hits tonight for the White Sox have all been scattered. 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Corey Lee trying to figure out Otañez. Here's his 2-2. Spikes that slider.
He's had a couple of real bad release points on that slider.
Nothing a little dirt can't fix.
If you're making those pitches, you try anything you can.
Three-two. And it gets Corey Lee to start this bottom of the 7th inning. And now a quick message from Duncan.
This baseball season, nothing hits like Duncan. Always a fan favorite. Swing in today. America runs on Duncan.
Another big series in the East Coast. Red Sox and Yankees. It's the Red Sox with a 4-1 lead over the Yankees in the Bronx, bottom of the 7th inning. Ooh, Fletcher trying to get out of the way, went around and swung at that one.
Yeah, it's really hard when you spin out of there. It's hard not to get a strike called against you, because as you can see, he did try to check it up, but that bat went all the way through the zone.
Popped up to left field. And is quickly 2 away. Head to the ballpark on Thursday, September 26th for Sports Media Day presented by NBC Sports Chicago. You can participate in a pregame Q&A session with sports media professionals when you purchase a specially priced ticket. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. So the big news coming out of the Bronx for that Red Sox-Yankees series, Marcus Stroman is now the latest Yankee starter who will now be available in the bullpen. Aaron Boone said that he will be available as early as Sunday. So teams making some adjustments as they head towards the postseason, finishing up this September.
Yeah, I think their big three for the playoffs is pretty well assured. That's one of the reasons why they decided to give Stroman something he hasn't seen before, or hasn't seen in a long time, and that's work out of the pen. So they want him to get used to it before they take him to the playoffs and ask him to do that.
Now, Nestor Cortez was a guy who had been moved to the bullpen, unhappy about it, but Aaron Boone saying that Cortez would be available as a starter next time into the rotation.
Well, his one time being in long relief, he was magnificent. So his stuff is such that looks like he can get everything over the plate whenever he wants to. He's not an overpowering pitcher. He's a finesse pitcher with really good command. And that one time out of the pen was just outstanding.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here to Vargas. And he chases one up out of the zone. Second strikeout for Otañez here in the 7th inning.
Everybody, Chuck Garfien back here at the ballpark. This is our final Friday Night White Sox All Access broadcast of the season, and I just wanted to give a special shout out to so many people behind the scenes who helped make this possible. First with the White Sox, Scott Reifert, Bob Bechtel, Ray Garcia, Billy Russo, the entire media relations staff, and these players and coaches who have agreed to be a part of this broadcast to take you inside, in-game broadcast like no other. And a big time shout out to our producer Chris Withers. It was his brainchild. He's been trying to bring this to NBC Sports Chicago, and this was the first year. Chris did a phenomenal job, and everybody behind the scenes, camera guys, you name it. So thank you to everybody.
Chuck Garfien, you did a great job as well, taking all those sunflower seeds for all those interviews.
Yes, I still have some in my pockets.
For real, though, an amazing job, and thank you to the White Sox for allowing this to happen. Chris Withers, our incredible producer, for keep pushing it and giving you the access at home, because to have this kind of access in-game, talking to Grady Sizemore, Ethan Katz, Chris Getz, I mean, this is the kind of stuff fans want to see.
Yeah, it really gives a new dimension to the broadcast. It was a great addition, and we shall see what happens going forward, but Chuck did a great job. And kudos to everybody involved with this one.
Long chasing in foul territory, but this one well back into the seats. Good crowd on hand here tonight. We saw it walking in. We saw the parking lots.
Well, you see that, you realize that there's going to be a few here, and over 26,000 tonight.
Energy has been very lively from an incredible rendition of the Star Spangled Banner with a live band performing here on Hispanic Heritage Night. Hoping the White Sox can pull this one out, down 2-0 here in this top of the 8th inning.
You don't see many catchers hitting 25 or more home runs in a year, but that's what Langoliers has done this year. 29 and 69 on the power numbers.
Said it before, but most for a A's catcher in the last 30 seasons, 25 home runs.
Pretty good. Terry Steinbeck, Gene Tennis, and right after him, Shea Langoliers, and Gene Tennis again.
We're talking about power hitters. Aaron Judge, you know, the Yankees were just down. They're not down anymore. A grand slam. Yankees with a 5-4 lead over the Red Sox now in that bottom of the 7th.
Trailing most of the game until that one home run.
For Aaron Judge, that ended the longest home run drought of his career. He had gone 16 games in a row coming into tonight without a bomb.
Well, if you're going to break out of it and you're wearing a Yankee uniform, hitting it against the Red Sox is always a good thing. Plus, when you're down 4-1, you suddenly go up 5-4 in the late innings.
Seth Brown, it was Vargas in on the grass, and he chops that one past him.
Well, the question is, will Grady allow Ellard to face Geloff, who has a couple of hits already? Seth Brown stays right with it, doesn't pull off it, and takes it through the left side.
Geloff with 2 hits tonight. That RBI double in the 4th and a single in his last at bat in the 6th inning. And Corey Lee wants to have a word with his pitcher, Frazier Ellard.
Well, the dual purpose here, you go out, try to settle him down, and give Justin Anderson a few more pitches to get loose.
All right, so talking about Boston, what's at stake for them in New York? 4.5 games back of Minnesota for that final spot in the AL wild card. Minnesota right now, they are trailing the Reds 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning, that game in Minnesota. And for the Twins, Byron Buxton making his return tonight. He has missed the last month with hip inflammation. So the Twins trying to hold on and make the playoffs. The final 2 weeks here in September. Miller taking some time to gather himself between pitches now. 3 balls and a strike to count to Geloff.
He got his fastball away, but fortunately just fouled it off.
Runners on at first and second with 1 out. This one hit hard at third. Vargas, he'll start it off. 1 at second. The double play is turned.
That was a very nicely turned double play to get out of the inning. We'll watch it again. Lenine with his foot on the bag and the throw.
Team pride with White Sox checking and an official White Sox debit card. Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more.
Got a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Tyler Ferguson on for the 41st time. His ERA a touch over 4. He inherits a 2-run lead as the Sox try to put something on the board.
It'll be Amaya in the 9-hole starting it off. 9-1-2 to the plate for the Sox in this bottom half of the 8th inning. That bender by Ferguson. 0-2.
Yeah, he drops down low 3/4 and almost comes at you from the shortstop position, so it makes it a whole lot tougher for right-handers to hit.
Ball 2 strike to count to Jake Amaya as he fouls off that fastball down the middle.
As you can see, it's tough to make solid contact against Tyler Ferguson, but the Sox are going to make every effort.
As the high heat gets the strikeout to start this bottom of the 8th. There is still time to take advantage of our summer savings section. It's now extended through the end of the season. You can enjoy select lower level tickets for $10 on all weekday games and $15 on all weekend games. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/section. Good idea just how much that pitch is breaking. Ramos getting out of the way, and that thing caught the whole plate.
You can see it spinning, but you don't know until you face a guy just exactly how big the movement is.
Another knee buckler there, 0-2.
That's the problem when you don't know these pitchers and you've only seen video or sometimes not even seen that. Trying to figure out exactly where it's going and just how much break there is on it.
That's why these at-bats late in the season, especially for guys like Brian Ramos, so important. Strikes out there with that fastball in the corner, 2 down. Well, a game just getting underway on the West Coast. The Rangers visiting Seattle Mariners, and Jake DeGrom coming back for the first time this season for the Rangers. DeGrom last started in the big leagues 504 days ago. Tapper back to the mound. Ferguson with the underhand toss, and the Sox retired in order to end this 8th inning.
Moment, and it's a couple of moments. Some pretty good plays by Luis Robert. Twice he came on, twice he left divots. The second one, a much bigger divot, and he came away without getting hurt. You watch that left ankle and you wonder how that happened. Then he gets a little help from his friend. Dominic Fletcher comes on to repair the divot, and it's on to Justin Anderson, on for the 50th time.
The sod father is very grateful.
He'll have a lot of sod to replace, it looks like.
They have replaced the divots, and everyone is safe and sound. 6, 7, 8 for the A's to start this 9th inning. J.J. Bleday, 2 more hits here tonight. The A's center fielder. Two-one from Anderson, missing up. We have noticed all the moves being made the second half of the season, especially to the bullpen. A lot of power arms now coming out of the bullpen for the White Sox, seeing guys consistently throwing 96, 97 and up. Good slider. And it's 3-2.
And we showed you as we headed into this game how effective the bullpen has been over the last, probably a week and a half. And they've been pretty dominant.
Strike 3 called. All right, let's see how the National League wild card is shaping up. The Mets holding on to that third and final spot in the wild cards race, and they just demolished the Phillies today. 11-3 the final for the Mets. Another one of those big series going on around the country.
Probably not as big for Philadelphia as it is for the Mets, who are struggling to hang on. Fortunately for them, Atlanta has had a lot of injuries.
Cubs was at 4.5 now. Gonna need some 5 now.
5.5.
5.5. Yeah.
They need a lot of help.
They need some help. Lane Sosa getting over to it. And there's out number 2.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So check out Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
Look at all the pitchers the White Sox have used today. Crochet, Varland, Baroa, Ellard, and Anderson all throw 96 and up. Think about how you want to build the foundation going forward. White Sox are using the pitching to start it off.
And they realize starting rotation is going to look pretty good next year. It's restructuring the bullpen.
Anderson gets that call. Tonight's game is one we've pretty much seen a lot this season. Starting pitching is good. The bullpen comes through, but the bat's just not able to push anything across.
No, and the Sox did a pretty good job on defense tonight. I mean, they've started some very impressive double plays. Luis Robert in center field has been very good. Dominic Fletcher continues to be outstanding in right field. Made a nice play at the wall earlier in this game.
2-2 from Anderson. Healthy hack from Noda.
He got the pitch he wanted, and the exit velocity was over 110 miles an hour. That's pretty good. But he got out in front a little too far for his liking, just enough for Anderson's liking.
Corley wants it up. And because he set up there, he did not get the call, as that one did catch the zone.
Yeah, I mean, that caught the whole plate.
(3-2). Nasty slider from Justin Anderson. The arms have been good for the Sox here today.
start. Throws a fastball right by him, right in on the hand.
And Crochet blows it by Blade. Swing and a miss on that sweeper.
Well, it's been a pretty amazing year for him, and he couldn't have scripted it any better.
He has been one of the best in the game this season. Robert Jr. picking up late, and he creates another divot in center, but still makes the catch.
Dominic Fletcher is saying, you know what? You made the catch. I'll make the adjustment.
Well, the pitching's been great. The defense even better. Now the White Sox need a little comeback here in the bottom of the ninth, down 2-0.
Mason Miller coming out for the 49th time, ERA of 2.34.
Talk about a guy who can light up the radar gun.
Now, if it means anything, when he went out to take his warm-ups, he was not throwing strikes, and he missed with the first pitch.
This is a guy who just throws a cool, easy triple digits when he comes out of the bullpen.
Sox need a base runner.
2-0 to Benintendi. Took a big cut at that one. And strike number 2.
101 down the middle. And Andrew was right on it, just under it, because when you follow it straight back, you are right on the pitch.
Here's the 2-2. Nice adjustment. Stay alive on that changeup. Fastball at 101, changeup 92.
I think that's one of the things that really has changed in the game. You're seeing 92-mile-an-hour changeups. Amazing.
Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Benintendi. And they rung him up at 102 on the inside corner.
Well, this one had a little piece of the corner. Not much of it, and it came back and actually got a piece. You can see the grip. He throws 102 with that grip. Andrew thought it was inside. Brian Walsh did not.
Steve, that looked like a video game. 102 with late movement back to the plate.
The grip looked like to me he was throwing a changeup. Then fire came out of his hand. This will be a good test because Andrew likes fastballs.
Let's see if he gets the heat here. Gets on top of it.
He loves fastballs. Probably better than anybody on this team. You can't throw it hard enough to consistently get it by him. He got his fastball. It's up and away, and he got on top of it and drove it into right field. So that brings the tying run to the plate.
That's just a big league at bat right there. Knowing you need a base runner, not doing too much.
Well, we saw it early from Andrew Vaughn in Yankee Stadium against Aroldis Chapman. He came in as a pinch hitter late in the game. Aroldis came in to nail it down at 102 miles an hour. Andrew took it out in right center field.
Dean Sosa, another guy who likes to go the other way with power. As he slashes that one down the right field line, foul. 0-2. Sosa, the tying run at the plate with 1 out here in the ninth. That one just past Langeliers as Vaughn takes second base.
That was an attempted slider that just slid way wide of the plate. You see the grip, and no chance at all for Langeliers.
One-two to Sosa. He goes back to that slider, and it's fouled off. Popped up right side and well back into the seats. Good at bat here by Sosa against the righty Mason Miller, who could run it up the triple digits with the fastball. Got that changeup, also a slider. And now Sosa, timeout. Two pitch from Miller. Fastball outside. What a take.
That was just off the corner. And fortunately, Lenine did not like the look of it.
Popped him up. Foul territory. Noda near the dugout. And he overran it. So new life for Sosa.
Yeah, that was the second out of the inning, and Noda, who came in late, just overran it. We've seen that a couple of times in recent games for whatever reason, and the wind certainly is a huge factor. But the ball always rotates back toward the field of play, and he just overran it.
Yeah. So Sosa's still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Him up again and out of play. Sosa trying to time up that fastball at 101 miles per hour. As the Sox are making Mason Miller work here in this 9th inning. 2-2.
That one missed well wide of the plate, and now Lenine, who's had a very good at bat, has worked it full.
The only pitch Miller has thrown consistently for strikes is that fastball. 3-2. You got him with the heat out of the zone for out number 2.
Well, you got to start to swing a little bit early against him, and that time that ball was completely out of the zone, and Lenine just expanded that zone and went down.
Mason Miller with the highest whiff rate on 4-seam fastballs this season, and you can see why.
Yep.
It literally explodes off his hands.
Langalier's out there to talk to him about completely disregarding Andrew Vaughn at second base. His run does not mean much. He wants him to concentrate on Corey Lee.
Last chance for the Sox with 2 outs in the 9th. As the slider sails high, ball 1 to Corey Lee. Lee is 0 for 3 tonight. A fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout in his last at bat in the 7th. Popped up shallow left. And that'll do it. As the White Sox lose the opener here to the A's on Friday night, 2-0.
Welcome back. And long turnaround, get your rest anyway. The Sox played a good ball game, just no offense, and that's how it ends.
So our final Friday night game here at home, and the Sox cannot pull it out as they get shut out 2-0. From a partner Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. We go to the post-game show. Chuck and Ozzie, guys, it is all yours.